Okay, wait, let me just set up my settings here so I can see everybody. Wait, Jamie, what do you want me to do?
You know what? You can just, once we get started, you can go ahead and mute your computer. But other than that, we're just kind of all checking in and grabbing a beverage. And then you guys can go ahead and post in the chat where everyone's tuning in from.
Hi, Allie.
Really good to see everyone. Hey,
Laura.
Hi.
Yay. All right,
Hey, Allie.
Hey.
Hi, Lena. Hi, Mary. Okay, I'm just gonna okay, so we've got some people from Roxborough Park, Talia. Erin is from Tucson, Arizona. Summer is tuning in from Breckenridge tonight. Mary's Never Summer, AKA Denver. Hey, Kelly. Hello from Snowmass, Colorado.
Hey, Kelly.
Nice. You're really close. And Allie from Glenwood Springs. Heather Hendricks from Aspen. Hey, Allie from Eagle.
Hey,
Sarah
Heather.
from Gunnison. Awesome. All the way from the Philippines by the way of Denver. Awesome.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm going to let in a couple more people. And maybe give it one more minute for people to tune in.
Woo-hoo.
Excited to have everyone on the call. And tonight we're listening to Laura Hadar. Talking about shredding the 14ers and splitboarding her way to a healthy and happy lifestyle. All right, so yeah, go ahead and if you don't have a drink yet, go ahead and grab a drink. And then we're just gonna mute ourselves. And if you want to show your video, that is totally fine. Not really sure where everyone's, okay, I can see you all now. Awesome.
I can't see everybody. I figure it out.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna give it 30 more seconds, then we'll get started.
Oh, there you are, Kelly. Hi, Kelly.
Hi. I unmuted, but I'll go back.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, go ahead and say hi right now if you guys want to.
Got it, Laura. I'm excited. Marta's here. Hi, Marta.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Hi.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So welcome, everyone. Oh, hey, Angus is here too. Awesome. Hey, Angus. So welcome for everyone who isn't familiar with our group. Women Who Splitboard Colorado is a community of female splitboarders who are devoted to learning, sharing knowledge, and empowering each other to be confident in their backcountry decision-making skills. We are excited for you to join us tonight. And so tonight we're going to listen to Laura Hadar. She is a former splitboarder, or sorry, well, she's a splitboarder right now. She is a former professional snowboarder. She is a coach. She is a fisherwoman, gallery owner, server, gardener, nanny, bellwoman, personal assistant, and wannabe comic. She is just 5 peaks away from finishing splitboarding all of the 58 14ers in Colorado. And Laura Hadar is going to share her struggles tonight with depression and finding happiness on the highest summits in Colorado. So if you haven't grabbed your drink, get settled, tune in, post in the chat where you're tuning in from. And I'm going to let Laura take it away.
Oh my God. Hi. I'm double fisting. I got hard kombucha for all my hard kombucha girls out there. and some sparkling water from Liquid Death. Thank you. Wow, I'm let loose here. Okay, I'm gonna do just a quick history in case you guys don't know my history. My name's Laura Hadar. I'm from Carbondale, Colorado. I was actually born in my house down here. And let's see, I started skiing when I was 2 and I started snowboarding when I was 13. So this year I'm celebrating 26 years snowboarding. So I've been doing it for just a little bit. And I've had a lot of highs and I've had some pretty low lows as well. And I'm just kind of sharing my story. I am in no way a professional. Don't trust too much of what I say. It works. This is just what my story. So if you gain some awesome inspiration or share some compassion or any of that, that is awesome. I'm trying to like not talk too much, and I'm really nervous, and this whole thing has it's been really great for me because it's really hard, and so I'm probably like talking fast, and I'll try and slow down. But yeah, like it definitely brought up like somebody I shared on my Instagram asked some questions, and somebody said, do you have anxiety? And I was like, I haven't had anxiety at all. And then this morning, I think I experienced some speaking anxiety. I think that's what they call or something. So anyways, snowboarded forever, got into contests really early, did the USASA, the local stuff, and got sponsored and just kind of like made it happen. You know, my goal was to be a pro snowboarder. And by 19, I was a little punk ass pro snowboarder. Can everybody see the screen? Yes. Okay, cool. This is me, you know, I was like making it cool to wear jeans and snowboard and try and be a skateboarder. That was awesome. And I was a city kid. I grew up in Carbondale and Aspen. And I just, after high school, I was like, I'm out of here. I want to get to the city. I want normal people, you know, not resort people. So I did that and I had a career and it was awesome. It was the best thing ever. And I will say, I just want to acknowledge like how amazing my life has been and how lucky I've been to experience everything that I have and grow up in the place that I have with the opportunities that I have. And it, with my own struggle, I say mostly like I experience like a mild depression. Like I don't go too far, super deep, but like I've had some moments with that. But I think always I've kind of struggled with some sort of form of mild depression. So, and I think even within my snowboard career, being so lucky and not being happy was like a double-edged sword. So if you guys have ever experienced that, when you have so much and everything is so great, but yet you're not happy, like that's like a really weird thing that I've always, yeah, okay, cool. And yeah, so that's some form of depression and things, whatever. Okay, so now we're gonna watch a video just in case you guys are curious. This footage was filmed like, I think in 2013 or something. And I'm just gonna play that because then we can just move on. After that, I retired and we'll go to the next part, but this kind of gets us amped up and you can drink some drink and get amped up. And you guys are stuck watching all of my footage. You're at my house on my couch. And now I'm forcing you to watch some old footage of mine. Okay, so I hope you're stoked. And I hope this works. everybody. Thanks for enduring that. That was super fun to do. When I retired from snowboarding, I kind of thought I had my whole life figured out. I was gonna work at a shoe store, an art gallery I had started with a friend, and I was gonna do all sorts of different stuff, and then that didn't really happen, and I moved back to Colorado. And I was coaching for the snowboard team back here, got the opportunity to do that. And I was riding a lot of resorts, and I hadn't got out to the backcountry. And I was super depressed, and I was super confused on what I was doing with my life. I had kind of tried to make a big move into maybe a career, corporate, like a job career outside of snowboarding, and just like nothing was really lining up. And I actually moved back in with my mom in her basement, and it was just like a dark time, like just the classic dark time for somebody. And then that's when I met my partner, Nikki, and he invited me on to a hut trip, and we did Castle Peak. And riding Castle Peak was the first time that I had really seen Colorado from up high. And this was my smile while I was up there. And it felt literally like a cloud had just lifted from my head. And I'll show another video for that. And I'm sorry for all the videos. I hope you guys are stoked on these. Some of them you might have seen, and I'm sorry about that. Some of them I don't think you have seen, so stoked. And they kind of tell a story that I'm trying to tell, that so sick. Oh, and what I was going to say about this is, if you're really depressed and you get invited on a hut trip and you to go ride some peak, and you think it's in your ability level, you should definitely go do it. It is a great medicine for depression. And that's kind of what I do want to say about this whole talk. It's like, I don't have a lot of answers, but I know when you're out in nature and doing this stuff, it's really hard to be depressed at the same time. Oops. All right. All right, so this is back on the top of Castle Peak. So a couple of things I want to talk about with that last video and with what we're doing. So we started riding these, this was May 5th, so Cinco de Mayo. The snowpack in Colorado turns more into a freeze thaw. So we're dealing with like a lot safer snowpack. So a couple of things with that in consideration. But basically we went on Castle Peak, and that's actually where me and Nikki, my husband, met. So always go on hut trips if you're single and you want to meet rad dudes. But it was a pretty life-changing event because I really saw Colorado for these huge mountains instead of just these smaller resorts that I had been snowboarding on all winter. So after Castle Peak, we decided to go to our local Maroon Bells, and this is South Maroon behind me here. And we were able to get a line down this one and a couple more of them. And yeah, there's our line. So this is probably I guess the reason I'm bringing this one up is because this is like the most technical thing I had ever done at the time. So this is like this is my first year back in Colorado. It's like May. I'm like super depressed. I meet this dude. We go on a hut trip, do Castle Peak. I'm like, holy shit, these mountains are fucking dope. Excuse my potty language. And then we decided to go do this. And this kind of like blew my mind for snowboarding for, 20 years, I think at this point. To see something like this and be able to get this done was really, really cool. And this kind of like started our whole project. This is North Maroon. So this is like the sister right next to South Maroon. Definitely considered one of the like top 5 or top 3 harder 14,000 foot peaks. You can see the line kind of goes like down the top over to the right. It's definitely there. But once we did that, it was like game on. We kind of figured out that no girls had done all the 14ers. And this is the view from North Maroon looking at South Maroon. So you can see where you come out onto this face. I wish I could, I guess I don't have a little mouse. Oh well. Yeah. And this is kind of the beginning of our journey together to do the 14ers, which were super fun. So that first year we did a handful, and then the next spring, again, we waited till spring just because this is like, we both work pretty seasonally in Aspen, and it's a good time to take off of work and also really safe in Colorado. We brought one of our dogs up, a couple, he had done 8 14ers. This is some of the smooth sailing, and this is some of the not smooth sailing. I think this whole project has been really, really cool just because it pushes your comfort zones. And how I relate that to my own personal mental health is like you get butted up against the stuff that you're really struggling with, and you move past a lot of stuff. So when you're like moving past fear and like getting down crazy shit like this, where it's so rocked out and it didn't look pretty, but there's a way, and finding that way, it definitely gives your brain a boost. So whether it's just adrenaline or not, I'm not positive. So this is our second season into the 14ers, and we're digging it. This is like my first time, kind of maybe like first or second time doing like rappels into a line. This is Sniffles in Colorado. So, and getting some really nice terrain. But again, you can see the snow is hot. So we're not dealing, as far as avalanche conditions, again, we're dealing with spring conditions. So it's a lot different. We're more worried about stuff getting hot and then coming down, rather than, you know, the whole thing. This was Little Bear. This is like one of our favorites. It's the peak right up in the front. You actually snowboard on the other side and do a pretty gnarly traverse in there. And then this is the Looking Glass. Hourglass. A lot of the stuff that sounded like it was going to be so insane, like wasn't as insane. Then so that just like showing up in really crazy conditions and putting yourself out there. This is so Little Bear and Lindsay and Blanca and some other ones. These are southern Colorado, and it's so pretty. You can see in the skyline the farmland, excuse me, down there. And yeah, so this is kind of like our spring MO just going up. This is in the Chicago Basin. Chicago Basin's outside of Silverton. It's super sick. You take the Silverton train to get in there, and you get dropped off. You got to go when the train opens, like in May. And there's like 3 14ers out there. So that was really fun. We had to go back for a second year. We say we do a lot of scouting. We're like trying to be efficient with our time, but sometimes we just sleep too late or the weather's too bad. We've been trying to be fast, but we also just like really try and enjoy it. So there's some middle line in there. We're always tweaking. But here's another video. And if you guys have questions, like now we can do that, or we can just like run through all this and then like do all the questions. I don't know. Yo.
Laura, there was a couple of questions from the last videos. Do you wear hard or soft boots?
I wear soft boots. I come from a freestyle background, you know, so I haven't got into the hard boot thing. I'm very curious about it for sure. But I also do like to, be able to snowboard in my boots. So, I mean, I think if you got the money, I would try it, but that shit's expensive too. So, you know, I usually just try and get one pair of boots that I love and just hammer those things and then get another pair.
Nice. And then there's one more question. Were you at a hut in the last video?
Yeah, so we were at one of the Braun huts, part of the 10th Mountain Division here in Colorado, and that's a super sick system if you haven't checked those out. There are like a few in cool places to ski or snowboard, and that one we were at was Green Wilson. Taggart. We were at Green Wilson that time. Yeah, we were at Green Wilson. So those are rad. And that, like, also I will say, like, you know, my mental health component to all of this is like getting out there, and also like as a friend, like if you ever have the opportunity to bring friends on hut trips, or like being a mentor and being a mentee, such a huge help for everybody, you know, to have that is so cool. So thank you to all my mentors.
Thanks for answering those questions.
Yeah. This is on Kit Carson. So this is just north of where we were at Little Bear in the last well, we're at Chicago Basin and then Little Bear, but Little Bear is just south of this, and this is a really cool spot. I'm telling you guys all the secret spots in Colorado. We better not record this, actually. I'm just kidding. It's such a far walk. You won't want to go. I'm just kidding. It's awesome. So the sand dunes, you can actually like see the sand dunes from here in this picture. And then the mountains just behind the sand dunes, that's Little Bear and Lindsay and Blanca. And then so right here, I'm on Kit Carson, which is actually, when we say 58 14ers, there's like, technically, I guess there's 54 official and then like 4 unofficial, because they like share a shoulder or something. I don't know. I'm not like a map nerd, so I just go to the mountains. And so we're on Kit Carson here, and Crestone is right behind me. If you look like right to the right, if I had a pointer, that'd be sick. Behind there, there's a sick couloir. It looks gnarly AF. That is the
north face of Crestone.
Yeah, the north face of Crestone. It looks dope. We did not ride it, but someday, ladies, we should go shred that. It looks freaking gnar bars. And you got to get it that in really good Abbey conditions, obviously. So this is when, oh, you can see Humboldt behind me too. Yeah, there's tons of 14ers down here in this southern zone, which is really cool. And there's that couloir again, you can see in the back. It's really prominent, that's straight. That thing is dope. Crestone is so cool, and they have an awesome brewery. And one of my favorite parts of doing this 14ers project has just been like exploring Colorado and seeing all these cute little breweries and testing all of their burgers. And Crestone has an epic burger at their brewery, so highly recommend. And then I'm gonna play another video. Are you guys good with that? Okay, cool. What's that, Sarah? I can't hear you.
I said, hell yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm like doing the video thing. So, and this is my friend's band from Salt Lake, and I loved their they have a very like 90s like, I don't know, it's fun music, but it does say something about killing yourself, but it's just music, you guys. Just kidding. So one thing I'll say too, and then this little extra bonus is happening. The 14ers project, really, we're lucky because we just live in the resort town and have pretty seasonal jobs. So we're able to take like a month or anywhere from like a month to like, I think we did 2.5 months 2 years ago off, and we just basically run the camper scenario and we keep it pretty cheap. So you know, like whatever time you can do, the spring is really cool. And again, like sharing my secret with you guys, but you can actually camp down low and it's like not winter, but then you go up high and it's like safer spring, and you can go and get all these mountains. So this is just a little view of our little camper scenario here. And we would just, this was in the Walmart parking lot, you know, so you got all your veggies, keep it cheap. Look at that hunk. All right then. Oh gosh. Yeah, that's it. Okay. We're good. Crazy desktop. Oh my God, this is the Crestones. So I'm still in this little southern zone that I'm telling you guys about in southern Colorado. And I'm telling you, it's the secret. It like doesn't always get snow, but when it gets snow, it's so crazy and it's so crazy beautiful. And there's some really crazy lines down there, and the Crestone Needle and the Crestone Peak are right next to each other, and they're definitely on the top of the scary the scary ones. The Crestone Needle, there's like the true summit is like this stupid little like 10 feet away from where it would make sense to just drop in, and we went for that. And you'll see like in this video, like I'm holding on to a rock, and it's like it's pure 500-foot drop down to oblivion. And Nikki was like definitely too scared to go over there. Or did you go over there? It was so sketchy, but not too sketchy. But that was really cool, and the Crestones were just so rad. This is the Needle. So we were like always a little too late. Like you can see this is fresh snow, but it's getting hot. So we're always like, we called ourselves the too late crew, because we were just, that's the one thing that is really hard about being like partners with your partner, is you're cuddling in the sleeping bag and you're like so warm and you're like, no, let's just sleep later. Whereas like it's good to have partners in separate sleeping bags, otherwise you're not getting out. Like so that was the Needle. And then this is Crestone Peak, which you can see there's kind of like a river like down the face. That's the line we rode over on the like left side here. And then, all right. Anybody have any questions right now? We're gonna do another video. I hope the videos are good. Yeah.
There was a couple questions that came in on the chat. Do you want to answer those before the video?
Yeah, sure.
Where was that first one? Somebody was asking who your mentors were. Where did it go?
I went out with a few people in Salt Lake. Like I started splitboarding like 10 years ago or more, but it wasn't until I really moved to Colorado, like, and came back here. And I think it was really when me and Nikki started like splitboarding, using it more as a tool to get up mountains rather than to just ride powder. So it was like kind of a different thing. it's like, and that's the thing with the 14ers, you know, you get to do these really cool hikes, but you don't have to hike down. You can snowboard down, and that's so much easier. So, but yeah, there was like some homies in Salt Lake and stuff, and then some friends around here too.
Nice. And then another question was, what was your least favorite 14er? And why?
That is a good one. Man, Mount Beardstadt was really rough. And it was because of the wind. Like, it's either because it's so long, like even that Long's Peak that we did, like Kit Carson that I just showed you guys that video, that was like freaking 15 miles of hiking and then splitboarding, and then you're riding down, and that's like really taxing on the body. But Beardstadt was harsh because the wind was so gnarly. I think the weather, if the weather's good, I can like, you can last forever, you know? But when the weather's shitty, it's like, get me out of here. I hate this. Like, why am I doing this? So there's a certain amount of persevering, but yeah, I think anytime the weather's shitty, like it's hard to stay positive. So yeah, this is the Creststones, and they're such a magical place. We went and camped up there. We would do that like quite often. And like I was saying before, springtime is like such a, like, we were just talking about this the other day, like winter camping versus spring camping. And like winter camping sounds so awful, like sounds so miserable. I'm like, probably done it once or twice, but spring camping is actually pretty nice, you know, because it gets so warm during the day in the sun. So this was like such a rad place to camp out. And we did Creststone Needle. We hiked in, did Creststone Needle the next day, and then spent the night, and then did Creststone Peak and then Humboldt Peak in the same day, and packed camp out. And it was crazy long day. I think we did like 20 hours or something, but it was really, really cool. So here's the video. I'm so sorry. I'm just trying really hard to keep going. We are so close. Spicy one. This was super steep. I don't know. Can you guys hear me if I talk over? Oh, cool. Oh, that's so much better. This was scary. And I'll show you the part with the rock. Okay, so this is kind of like that really narrow part of the true summit that I did. And then this part is just straight down, like no, back to camp in one go. And then this peak behind me, that, oh, look, I finally have, that is Humboldt. So we got that night, or 2 nights later. Not very much snow. And you kind of can see the wet sloughing. So that's kind of like the type of snow conditions we're dealing with a lot. And that just was fresh powder that got hot. So yeah, this is the needle. And this is like a no fall zone sort of, you know? So I'm just gonna go back to that. So that was the line. Pretty dope. And then you came out on these rocks over here. And then the next one we do is Crestone Peak. So then this is Crestone Peak, and I showed you guys a photo of it. It looked like a little river. That one's a nice one. And a little bit of ice climbing. Not really. But see how hot it is? We're like dying, bro, like dying. So it would be cool to like go and ride these in powder and stuff. Like Josh Jesperson rode so much of this in powder, like by himself, but you know, so much more risk. He's crazy. All right. I'm gonna move it along here. Move it along. Nobody's got all night here. This was a sick one. We wish you were here. This was El Diente. This was that year we had in Colorado for all our Colorado ladies. When we had that tons of snow and then tons of avalanches, but then we still had tons of snow. This was that year. So this was the El Diente, Wilson Peak, and Mount Wilson, which is right outside of Telluride. And I had never been there either. And that shit was so sick. If you ever get a chance, definitely ride Wilson Peak. The Coors can? No. Wilson Peak, the Coors can. It's a super short skin in. So that is so great. So this was one of our favorites. Let's just skip that video because we got so much videos. I'm gonna move it along. This is like pyramid. This was one thing that I was gonna talk about as far as like backcountry safety and awareness, and just like a scenario, as they said a lot in our wilderness first responder. So we were going to do the Landry line on Pyramid Peak, and it's a really steep line. I'll skip ahead to okay, so yeah. This is the line, and I don't have my pointer. Can you guys all see it? It's the steep one right in front of, kind of like above my my split board there. But what happened is there's two different ways to kind of approach Pyramid Peak, and it's right above Maroon Lake or whatever, up in the Maroon Bells. Colorado people, you know what I'm talking about, okay? And it's a super gnarly line. It's definitely like, you know, North Maroon, Capitol, Pyramid Peak, the Crestones, like those are probably like the most highest consequence 14ers in Colorado. And we happened to meet another group on this peak. And so there was two different ways to kind of approach the first part, right? And this is where they meet, right where you're seeing what this picture is. And you can notice there's a boot pack ahead of me. Well, we're on fresh powder, so there's like two skiers ahead of us. So immediately we're kind of like, we thought maybe we knew these skiers because this is right in our backyard, and you know, we know a lot of people who ski it and snowboard it. So we kind of just kept moving along and met up with them, and their skier T and skier B, and right here, sorry, is where we kind of had grouped together by this point. So we had caught up with them, and you know, my thought process was, well, if they're up here, they're probably experienced, right? If you're gonna do the Landry line and ski off a pyramid, you probably know what you're doing. First time encountering, you know, people on such a steep line. My second thought process was, well, I would rather do it with a party of 4 than have a party on top, like have them on top of us and potentially like letting stuff, because this is in the spring, so it's like we're going to be dealing with like loose avalanche stuff, you know, stuff sliding off in the heat. And so I didn't want to be below them, and then I also didn't want to be above them cutting them off stuff. So we talked to them, and we decided to join parties. But I think right around here, in this video clip, they're trying to figure out if they should take off to the right, if it goes, and if they should leave. And this is where we passed them, me and Nikki, I believe. And so we were kind of like, maybe we said something like, yeah, you should go, but you know, like if not, we should all go, you know, because this isn't like a place where we can have 2 different parties on one face. That could potentially have like a lot of avalanche danger, because we did have a lot of new fresh snow. Okay, story. Okay, so here we are. In the last picture, we're like down probably on one of those cornices. And now we're kind of coming up to the steep part of the climb. And they've decided to come with us. But they're moving pretty slow. We got ahead of them, and then this is the steep part. So Nikki got up there. That is, oh, that's the last of it. So this is like near the top. Oh yeah, this is what I was gonna do. Do you guys want Instagram or reality first? Somebody's gotta say.
Instagram first.
Instagram first? Okay, then we're gonna watch the video first, and then I'm gonna tell you what happened. So basically, you guys have the basic knowledge. They decided to come up with us. We were all gonna summit together to a party of 2 that we did not know. And we're decided we're all gonna ride this face together. So we're gonna watch the video first, because Instagram made that shit look fucking perfect, bro. And then I'll tell you what happened afterwards. So we biked up. The gate is closed, so we biked up. We started at midnight and biked up to Maroon Lake. Like you bike up like 7 miles and then start. Have you guys noticed we make out on every summit? That's like, we're going for like first couple to make out on all the summits.
I'll be going out tonight, I don't care what I do. I'll wake up in the morning and I'm beating black and blue.
Oh, sorry. Yes, actually that's good that it paused. Oh shit, I was gonna do the Instagram versus reality. All right, we'll go back.
Feel tomorrow like a one pair of shoes. Only point of this body here tonight is to be you. I wanna feel that blood rushing in my veins. I don't want this night to ever turn into day. Yes, tonight I'm gonna do all them things that I want to while that spirit's rushing out in my veins. Yes, tonight I'm gonna do all them things that I want to. I'm going down tonight to that river's edge. I'm full all them dead ideas out my head. I'm opening up the gate of the Coliseum's grave. Back to old damn world, don't know just what I mean. I wanna feel that blood in my veins. I don't want this night
We
to
fucking
end.
did it. Jacob's only got one ski.
Okay, that is a clue right there for the reality story. Just said Jacob's got one ski.
Nikki doesn't want to hear it.
Nikki was mad at
Sorry, I'm gonna have to
me.
deal with all the time.
All them things that I want to while that spirit's rushing in my veins.
That was all that avalanche debris that year. We saw so many like gnarly avalanche debris.
Like we lost that town down in that gas lane. Spin that rusty wheel and burn that stain.
Okay, cool. Let's see if this doesn't have that. No. All right, there's the line. Sorry. You think for a freaking photo show, I'd have a better photo. But so there's the Landry line, right? This thing coming down here. And so we meet these guys. So this is the reality story, which is like, it's not a bad thing. It's just like hard to tell it in a fucking video. Like it's impossible. So, and it's way better face to face, or Zoom to Zoom. So we meet these guys, you know, up on here. We climb up with them. We get to the top, and we do our whole thing. Like we're like getting our video and all this, getting our footage together, and we decide they should go first. Well, first on the climb, one of the guys was going really, really slow, and I'm all about always be eating and drinking, like always be eating some sort of sugars and drinking water. Like on long days, it just makes the complete difference of crashing and being able to just keep moving forward. So I offered him some snacks, and he was not about that snack life. And that's when I didn't trust him, because everybody should be about that snack life. Like you can't not be about that snack life, especially when you're in a gnarly situation. You need some sugar, bro. Like you are crashing. So he was moving super slow. We started kind of getting concerned about these new partners we had, Mr. T and Mr. B. And so whatever, we summit, we're like in it with them, you know, we're like, okay, this is it. They're part of our group now. We summit with them. We like say, hey, you go first. We're going to do our thing. We're going to make out. We're going to film it. We're going to do our thing. So they start going down, and this first part of this line is really fucking scary. You're like above these gnarly cliffs. Like you definitely do not want to go. It's a no fall zone. It's definitely like you gotta kind of just get around this corner. I think I have it here. Still climbing up, coming down. So you got to get around this corner, yeah, and it's like sucks. This video is actually sideways, so if you can just like turn your head to the side, one of those ways, you get the idea. This is like just like I'm usually pretty comfortable when it's gnarly, and this was really, really scary. And you can see I've got, I might have, I have my ice axe and it's heated up like so much. We're late. These guys were really kind of like slowing us down. So they took forever to get around this, and we finally got around it, and we had some safe places, and we knew on this face that there was going to be some spots. I'm going to try and, okay. So this is kind of like this top section here. This is right where you have to come around. That was just in my GoPro right there. You have to kind of come around and then you're like in the line here. So we had been waiting at the top right here for them, and they took quite a while to get over here. And at this point we said like had to establish a safe place up above these rocks. So we're like, have people, riders coming down here, and we have our safe zone. Well, homie, Mr. B and Mr. T are in the safe spot that we had all agreed as a party that we were going to meet up, right above here, above the line, before we were going to all have eyes on each other and drop this line. But they take forever. Then we take our time, because I feel like I'm going to fucking die for the first time in my life on my snowboard. So I'm like taking my sweet ass time. I finally get over here and I'm like, fuck yeah, like I can make some turns. And it was like nice snow. So I make these little turns, but of course it's hot now. We're like running late, too late crew on freaking Landry line. And so while I was still making these couple turns before I come and regroup, Mr. B gets antsy and he decides he's going to ski over to here. So he just put himself right underneath me, right? So I'm making these turns. Mr. B is like, oh, I'm going to go right here. And my wet, hot slough comes, and luckily it's wet and it's hot. So it comes slowly down at him. And I'm like, slough, like yelling at him. And it's like slow motion. He's stopped at this point, but it hits him still. It hits him and he tumbles like 2 or 3 times. And we're just like, oh my God, like, and I'm like yelling at him, like, what do you fucking do? Like, I'm like, stop. Because it's literally, it's slow motion. It's not a fast avalanche. It's not like, you know, anything. It's that wet, heavy kind of, and it hasn't gained much speed because it's pretty close to him still. So he tumbles 2 times and he's able to self-arrest, but he loses a ski. So we've got a skier with 1 ski who we've just met about an hour and a half ago in the middle of Landry line. We're just like, fuck, dude. So me, Nikki, and Mr. T are right here. But it's also like, the snow was pretty good. If you saw my video, like it was hot, but it was really good. And we were able to still ride it because Mr. B actually had a little bit of experience. And Mr. T, what happened with him, so Mr. B is the guy with 1 ski. So now we're sectioning it off, you know, we section it off. I think we had like the face about halfway. I think this is kind of where he fell, right in here. And then we regrouped right in here, over here, and then kind of like did another regroup right here, and then another one down here. But Mr. B was actually able to ski like, you know, okay with 1 ski. What ended up happening was his partner, Mr. T, was fucking cooked. Like he didn't eat enough sugar. He didn't take snacks from Mrs. Snack Queen, and he could barely ski. He was hop turning and like sitting down on his butt. So like he was taking forever. Like I'm not kidding. Like when we get on, for us, climbing the peaks is gnarly, but shredding them is like getting down. Like, let's get down. Let's get the fuck off this and be good, you know? So Mr. T is taking forever. I've never seen somebody ski so low. Like, I was just like, what is wrong with him? Like, but I think looking back on it, I think he had crashed. I think he was out of energy. I think he just was out of his element that day. We ended up seeing that same kid like 2 weeks later on Holy Cross, and he like skied past us like in the morning and was kind of proud because I think I had talked about this event, but we ended up having to section off Pyramid Peak with a skier who could barely manage himself and a skier with one ski at this point, and one pole. We gave him one of our poles. So it was like a huge group management thing. And I just bring it up because it's just one of those things that I always think about, like, what would I do differently? Like, what would I do in the next time that happened? Like, would I try and strong arm them and be like, how many 14ers have you done? Because we did at one point. We were like, dude, we were like, at this point in this season, we had already done like 15 14ers, you know? So we were like fucking amped. Like, in a way, like I wish, and I do think if I was a dude and I had like a strong ego, I might have been like, you guys should fucking stay back, you know, like we're gonna ride this mountain today, you know. But I was kind of like, okay, like we'll make it work, you know, like I hope everybody's happy. Yay, you can do it, right? You want some snacks? Like, let's do this. So that's kind of like my Pyramid Peak story. It was the coolest mountain, scariest thing. And again, like if I can bring it back to mental health, I would say like pushing your boundaries is like a crazy way to get a high. I don't think it's like necessarily sustaining, and like I still haven't probably managed that that like good sustenance. I kind of struggle more in the summer personally because I have like less direction. Like in the winter time, I kind of am like, I can keep focused because I know like that the snow is there and I'm ready for doing that. In the summer is when I kind of like fall off. But so we've got 5 left, 5, and this is one of them, Capitol Peak. We did get an attempt on it, but we got turned around. And that was a real bummer because we kind of knew after that, like it was too melted out. So we would have to wait another year. And then that spring ended up being COVID last year. And then it was just like really awkward if we should be going out in the backcountry or like, you know, there was just like a lot to be said and done for that. So that's kind of us like turning around. This is the first time I've posted it because I was so bummed. Actually, I was so sad to like have to call it because it was pretty late in the season.
Super close to Capitol, but it looks like we're gonna turn around tonight. And it does not look like we're gonna get it, which is a big bummer, but we'll live to ride again.
And that's pretty much it. I'd love to do questions. Of course, I have another video, but I don't need to play it at all. Yes, thank you guys so much for sticking with me. I hope you guys had a good time.
Laura, that was awesome.
Thank you.
There's a couple questions in the chat that I was going to follow up on. And then if anyone has any after questions, you can either take your videos or take your, or put your speakers on, you know what I'm talking about. All right. The first one that was in there was Nikki asked like, what's a good 14er to start on?
Quandary Peak is like an epic, super mellow 14er. That is just kind of like the basic go-to. There is a cool couloir on there. Definitely still encourage, even if you're doing stuff in spring, doing your avalanche education, obviously. But there's a really cool couloir off of Quandary, the Cristo, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Cristo is dope. And it's a good, like, even if you like, depending on what you're like thinking, like your first 14er, there's actually like 2 ways to go up Quandary. There's this like really like flat kind of like road, and that's like, it's very popular in the summer because like your grandpa from like Nebraska might be able to do it. But there's also the Crystal Couloir, and that's actually like a really good beginner's couloir too. It's really easy to find. You pretty much have like 0 approach, and then you start boot packing. I just always say, like, if you are doing spring stuff, go early. And when I refer to that pyramid story, like, think about groups ahead of you. If people are on top of you or below you, that could change your entire life, honestly.
And Kelly asked, do you think the snowpack will set up this spring for you guys?
Oh, I hope so. That will be so annoying if it doesn't. I will die. I'll be so annoying. No, it's good. Whatever happens is totally cool. I get, like, in that last video too, it's like this whole thing, you know, life, just if you're open for the opportunity to learn, I definitely life teaches you so much. And even this project, I mean, right now it's dragging on. We're 5 years. Like, I just want to quit. I want to fucking throw it in the ground, you know, like, but I go through all the emotions. And I think that is like, that is why it's so special to me. Like, and even on the skin track, like, I feel like a lot of people have felt that before, where you're just like, why? And then you just are like, keep moving. And then like sooner or later, like, you find out why.
And then Summer asked, oh yeah, how long is a typical ascent for these?
Oh yeah, that again is all over the place just because there's so many. And that's why, man, it's another cool thing. And I was even thinking about this, like, I'm like, oh no, I'm making this, I'm telling all my people about this, because the 14er thing is like, the trails are like pretty much what we use. So it's like, you go to these trailheads where in the summertime it's like packed, right? And you go to these trailheads in May or April and there's nobody there, and you just kind of like follow the trail. And like, there's so much good riding all around there, around the 14ers too. But it is literally all types. San Luis Peak, it was like before I just got a snowmobile, but I swear to God, I got it because of fucking San Luis Peak. I'm just kidding. But like, we seriously skinned in like, I don't know, like 18 round trip miles or something. It was ridiculous. And we're like on the road the whole time, you know, you're like, that's like the only time you ever want a snowmobile is when you're like on a road and you're just like, why? But yeah, so that one was like 20, Long's Peak was like 20, and then like Quandary is like a 1/4 mile. They're like literally all over. And if you are interested and you're in Colorado, like just start checking some of them out. Like, what's that one? Sherman, you can like drive so close. And then, like I said, we just had our truck and our camper. So we would just like pop the camper at the trailhead and then like take off. And again, like, what a cheap lifestyle of like dope vacation, you know, like eco-friendly. Like, we're staying in Colorado, you check out all these cool places that you wouldn't really just go see normally, you know. And I think that's a one thing, or like one of the main things about having that 14er, like who really cares if it's 14,000 foot? It's more just like somebody already created like a to-do list for you. And you're like, okay, I gotta go check this one off. And you're like, holy shit, I can't believe I'm here. This is crazy. You can see the sand dunes. Do you see that? Like, what the hell? We're at 14,000 feet right now. Like, never would have thought it, you know, like, especially when you're like at your lowest low, like I was before. Like, I was my lowest low, and then I'm literally higher than I could ever imagine. So
Allie asked if you use split crampons regularly or just every now and again for these missions.
oh man, this is I don't use split crampons. It's kind of messed up, but you know, like a lot of these approaches are actually long enough where I've just kind of convinced myself it's not worth carrying the extra weight. Like if I need split board crampons, I'll just put my crampons on and take my split board off, because at that point I'm like already hiking up something. But I know everybody who has split board crampons loves them. So that is a really hard one, because I am just always like trying to keep my, especially if it's long, I would say like, man, if I knew I was gonna like need them like right away, but if I have to carry them in and carry them out like 10 miles, and
Tony.
but our friend also, Tony, who did a bunch of the 14ers with us, he loves them, and he and he might not be able to make it on a lot of the stuff if he didn't have them. Like I grew up skiing, I cross country skied, like I'm very comfortable split boarding. Like I will definitely push it. I would say if you're not as comfortable, if you feel like, especially if like maybe you snowboarded only and then started split boarding, like I think split board crampons could be like a huge asset. The more I've gotten into this whole like kind of like snowboard mountaineer, splitboard mountaineer type, like longer approaches, more about the whole experience rather than just the snow conditions, the lighter I want to go. So, and that's like why I'm interested in the hard boots, is because those hard boots, dude, have you ever tried on the freaking ski like mountaineer boots? Like, oh, buddy, what? That's so unfair. Those are like dancing slippers. I want those. So yeah, I like it light, but I've heard a lot of people love them. So try not to hate.
Let's see here. I think this next one was during the Pyramid Peak video, because you guys were biking with your split boards. So they were just asking if you
Oh yeah.
a flat bike, or did you guys bike to the trailhead?
We biked that one. We biked to the trailhead. It's so you go up Maroon Creek, and the gate is usually closed until like Mother's Day or something, but the skiing's usually good before then. But so yeah, we just biked up. It's like 7 miles, and we just used road bikes for that. But we did on Holy Cross, we got fat bikes, and that one there's another road, and it's like 8 miles I think to the trailhead. And then so we fat biked up, and then we camped, and then did that Holy Cross. And that is the last. I have one more video. I was going to end on it because it's like but it's got a good vibe, and it's like it's super nice, and it was a really cool mountain to climb. And yeah, thank you guys so much for showing up. Oh my God.
Sarah, what you said, why was your partner mad at you? Was that with the ski situation?
Oh, mad at me about what? Shoot.
Pyramid.
Or, well, Sarah Mack wrote it, and I was just,
Pyramid.
Why he was like telling me to shut up.
Yeah, you in your like video, you're like,
Yeah.
Who's mad at me?
yeah, because I'm always being a little sarcastic bastard mostly, but also because I was filming, right? And dude, so that crux where those guys they were like down below, and then it was like really shitty snowboarding down to him, and then that's when I passed him, and I was like, oh, like he's yelling at me, like Noah's only got one ski, like that one kid only had one ski, and I was giving him shit, but Nikki was like trying to stick up for him, because Nikki was like, shut up, like he already feels bad, you know, like I was just trying to be funny, but Nikki's like, shut up. Like,
Not funny.
yeah, exactly. He's like, it's not funny. but it was crazy, dude. The kid with one ski got through the crux in like a normal amount of time. Like he wasn't even like, he was like really like did very proficient like with one ski. And then his buddy who was like crashed, he literally took like 25 minutes to get through the crux. Like we were like, I was like, we were sitting at the bottom. Oh, okay. One last story. Okay. With the pyramid. So we get back, like it takes forever, right? With these guys, like, and so we finally like get to a place in the skin track where we can see them and we're like, are you guys all good? Like, cause we could see the road and we were going back to our bikes and they didn't have bikes. So we were going back to get our bikes and we were going to ride down. Right. And so we like made contact. They were all good. They were going to get out safe. And, we get back to our bikes. We're like biking down the road and it's like 6 or 7 p.m. and it's kind of, it had started snowing again. It's getting cloudy. And I see this old guy, like, and his dog, like walking up the road, all aggressive. And I was like, oh, of course in Aspen, some fucking guy is like exercising with his perfect little golden retriever. Like this fucking guy, like, and then it turns out it's Nikki's dad. And we had fucking accidentally set off our, SOS on our inReach. So like the freaking mountain rescue was looking for us like this whole time. Like we had set it off at like 3 a.m. at Maroon Lake, and then they had watched the GPS signal like go up Pyramid Peak, and our homie is on mountain rescue. So they called, he knew, and he was like, it looks like they're going to go summit Pyramid. And like, they had sent people out to look for us. They found our bikes, but then they didn't find us, but they kept seeing the signal like going up to summit. But then it got to the summit and it like quit sending a signal, apparently. Like we didn't know at all. Like we had no idea. So it quit sending a signal. And then it took us so long to get down that like, everybody started getting worried because like we had the epic, like if it was just me and Nikki, we probably would have done it. We estimated how much that extra group put on our time. It was like 3 or 4 hours. So yeah, like for real, like we didn't get out till 7 p.m. and we were on the summit at like 11. Yeah. So we came down and Nikki's dad is down there and he's like, he's like, you guys are in trouble. You're in trouble. He was so mad at us. He's like, what happened? You should have been done hours ago. So yeah, it was the most epic, but we made it. And like, yeah, so be careful when you like meet different groups out there. And like this year, I mean, I know everybody on here knows, but it's such a gnarly year. Chill. Like I usually ride a lot of backcountry and I haven't like touched anything except for flat, really boring stuff. I'm like, oh my God, so boring. But okay.
Summer asked, what are the best months to shred 14ers?
Yeah, spring, like April, May is dope. Into June, like if it's raining down in the valley, it could possibly be snowing up at 14,000 feet. So and it just like getting that spring thaw freeze, it makes it so reliable to kind of figure out what's going on with the snow. It's either frozen or it's about to warm up. There's still, like I said, like you still should know what you're doing in the backcountry and with avalanche safety, and we always wear beacons and all that type of stuff. So don't just go sending it, but you can really like, I would also say like, it's a really good time to explore and get out there. And you can tell what's dangerous. Like, a lot of like, even I was telling my mom, just even going up trailheads that are snowed in and going up there to picnic or hang out or snow camp in the spring is really dope. Like like you can do all of that. And you don't need to like summit something. If that's what gets you off, then that's awesome. I say like adrenaline is just like any other drug. Like when you like start building on it, like you just get a tolerance. And like through my years and years in snowboarding, I have like a pretty high tolerance to like, I'm like, but I know how to chill too. It's cool. I know how to chill. It's totally cool.
Talia asked, where do you typically get beta on a peak? Oh,
that's a good one. We use all the World Wide Web. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but we got the 14ers.com. They have like, there's so many like 14ers nerds out there. I had no idea that was like a thing, but there's tons of info on there, and they have like trip reports. Like I kind of feel bad, like fuck, like I owe those guys. I should really do a report. But yeah, like thanks for all those other guys out there. Like, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, they have reports out there on the 14ers.com. And then millennial style, you can, I explain this to some of my older family members and they fucking love it. You like push the hashtag, and this is like so lame but true, but you can like hashtag like fucking like South Maroon Peak and then do most recent. And then if your skier bro hashtagged it and he's riding it in PAL, then you can see that and be like, oh, that guy just freaking did that yesterday and it looks like it was sick. So that's like a very millennial, like new age, you know, what the kids are doing, you know.
Oh, that's really smart for beta.
Yeah, hashtags. I check all the hashtags and like all the 14er hashtags and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you could do it for like anything, but, and it's like cool. You can find cool people to like follow and meet and stuff.
Yeah.
We've actually got tons of beta like that. And I've met tons of friends through Instagram too. So 2 thumbs up for IRL, you guys too. Well, we're going to do it someday. We're all going to be in life.
Jordan asked, is there any mellow, as in like shorter descent 14ers that I could do with just my split, or do I need an ice axe and everything for all of them?
No, tons of super mellow ones. Like I said, like Sherman, Quandary, like really you're gonna, I mean, using that 14ers.com is a really good resource. They have so much beta on there. And then just figuring out like what, matching your skill level with the mountain, because there is literally a 14er for every skill level. And so you've got the easy ones that are close, like Quandary and Sherman and Mount Evans. You can drive to the top, like that's freaking close. Like Pikes Peak, you can drive to the top, but the level's a bit higher, right? The terrain, like the snowboarding is a bit higher. You might want an ice axe depending on conditions. But yeah, and then yeah, I would put like Pikes Peak and even La Plata in like the same category. Man, and then just looking at how far away you want to hike, like how long you want to hike, like again, there is like there's a lot of them, so there's like so many to choose from. Just kind of figure out what your level is and then go off from there. But Quandary, everybody is going to say like it's the easiest, shortest approach. Don't need an ice axe. Like I think there was like 40 people on the summit when we were up there. It was crazy.
Busy.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody said Bierstadt's pretty mellow, which it is if it's
Bierstadt.
if it's not windy. No.
Yeah, if it's not windy. Like that was like that was my least favorite. Like I'll go off the Death Crestone cliff, just don't make me be in the wind on Bierstadt.
Is that a Jones Storm wolf in the background?
Yeah, we got the that's a Storm Chaser actually. Storm Chaser right there, and then I'm riding the Stratos right now, which is super sick. And then I've been, for split boards, I've been on like a solution, but I've got the hovercraft split, which is like my favorite. I definitely highly recommend the hovercraft. Hovercrafting is dope.
I don't know if I missed any other questions. If I did, you guys just pipe in. So I like tried to scroll through and get them all, but Laura, that was awesome.
Okay, cool. Awesome. All right, well, I'll just wrap it up with a little thank you. And I just want to say thank you all so much. That was like very nerve-wracking for me at first, but you guys all made me feel very comfortable. And we're hopefully gonna do a movie like when we finish someday, and do more of these, but I'd love to do them in person. I love the Zoom. I love it. Thank you, Women Who Splitboard Colorado. You rule. Thanks for putting that on. You guys are awesome. Jamie, Rema. So cool. Thank you. And yeah, I hope that we can all hang out in person and safely, and maybe like Women Who Splitboard Colorado, we can all go do a 14er together or something. That would be cool, right? Okay, cool. Just throw it out there live. Oh, it's recorded. Yeah. I hope we're not, I mean, okay. All right, one more video.
Thanks,
How about
Laura.
one?
You rock.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Laura, kicking ass. Keep it up.
Yay, thank you so much. And for anyone struggling, dude, just know you're not alone, and fuck, I go like this a lot, so it's normal, maybe. Good luck on your mental health journey. How about that? We'll just do this last video and then you guys can take off whenever you want. This one is actually that Holy Cross one, because I love the vibe on this one. Yeah, we got fat bikes and we biked in, and then we camped. And actually that kid who like Mr. T on Pyramid, I told you guys, he actually was here like a week later or something on Mount of Holy Cross, like, and I think he purposely like tried to get ahead of us because he was proving himself to us. And I was really proud of him. I was like, you're back out here. And then what was funny was his group was in Mount of Holy Cross, you like have to go up and then down and then like up, and then you go down and around. So you have to go like up like 3 times in the day to get out, basically. And his group, one of his members was crashing, and I offered him chocolate. I offered them all chocolate, and one of them members took the chocolate, and then they came, we passed them, because I've been eating, always be eating and drinking. I've been eating and drinking the whole time, and I was mowing on my fucking chocolate. And then, so I offered it, one of the guys took it. Like half an hour later, after we had passed them, they came through our campsite, and the guy who took the chocolate, not Mr. T denied it again. He said, oh, thank you so much. I was crashing. I thought I wasn't going to make it. And I was like, you're welcome. You're welcome. All right. So this is this last video. I'm going to go pee. So I love you guys. Thank you so much.
All the
Oh gosh. Oh gosh, sorry.
Bumping.
Yay, thanks everybody.
Thanks, Laura.
Thanks so
Laura,
much.
that was awesome. Thanks, Laura. All right, guys, everyone have a good night, and thanks for tuning in to the Women Who Splitboard Colorado Sip and Split, and we'll
Thanks
see
for
you again soon.
Bye.
Night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
But can you please look at my puppy?
Oh my gosh.
Aw.
You have to get up here.
Laura, I have to say you were like the only thing that was helping me through this baby moment. And she was like, I was like, yes. Listen to your mentor.
Yeah, she's learning young.
Yeah, she's like,